Thanks for tuning in again, everybody. We're back with your favorite podcast, Luca's Tigers and Bronze. Oh my.
Luca Nation. On video, this is an empty AirPod case.
I mean, you're missing them?
I misplaced my AirPods. My phone still connects to them, but Andrew does not. I don't know where they are. So I'm doing this episode today, guys, just using the phone audio. So I apologize in advance. I know how frustrating it might be. Can you hear me okay, Cage?
You're looking now you sound like me now. It's awesome. I love it.
Do you want? I hope I could be as intelligent and as hubris, and as you know what confuses me about hubris. Hubris, I always think it means humble, but then when I say it, it actually means the opposite, right? It means arrogant. Okay,
it's okay. I'll take it. I'll take it however way. I'll have some hubris for this episode. Do you want to spend the first 5 minutes of the episode doing a Luca Nation scavenger hunt and try to find your AirPods?
My AirPods. Welcome back to another episode of Luca's Tigers and Bronze. Oh my, guys! Right before this episode, Cage and I we were talking about strategies, right? And Cage, he left it with a cliffhanger, and I wanted to get it on record for you guys. He said, I changed my strategy a little. And let me contextualize that for a bit. Really, we have 3 money-making strategies in the hobby, right? You buy graded cards, already PSA 8s and 9s and 10s, buy and hold. Grading cards, you buy them raw, submit them to PSA and BGS, SGC, get them graded and flip. And now ComC, PWCC, and our new partnership, StarStock. So we're talking about creative ways to make money using StarStock, and that's where Cage said, I've been playing around with the tool, as we always do, playing around with the platform, and I came up with a new strategy. So before we get into our plays today, you want to talk a little bit about that? I also want to talk about baseball a little bit, and this is a part of the episode where we're going to actually involve Luca Nation, and then we'll get into our plays, okay?
Sure, 100%. I mean, listen, I love it, and this normally doesn't happen. Normally, we'll do our episode. We will chat every now and again. We'll do our episode, but we happen to be on the phone. We got a whole bunch of Luca Nation submission PSA for our PO box was stuffed. Thank you all for sending cards in. We'll be closing that down probably the end of next week. So you still have time to get some cards in if you want to get in our monthly sub. But we haven't even on the phone, and we were talking about StarStock and how I sent some cards away, and our episode yesterday, and how people have responded really positively. We're getting a lot of questions. How do I do this? How do I do that? I'm learning it myself. But as I was packing up boxes of cards to send to StarStock to have them scanned in for my my own account, I had a stack of cards that I was planning on grading. And I wound up saying, you know what? I think I'm probably better off sending these to StarStock. And let me go through it, right? So I can probably give you 50 examples of this, but I'll give you my actual example, guys, because I think why this works is I'm going to walk you through what happened with me in the last week and today, and you can replace the player, replace the card, replace the type of card with probably dozens of other ones, but you'll understand the type of card that I'm talking about now. So for Christmas, Santa Claus brought 3 1718 optic mega boxes for Ian. And those are the boxes that come with 10 packs. And each of the packs comes with 2 red, yellow, blue parallels. So you're able to get some nice cards in there. And, I got a Tatum, Ian got some Tatums. He got some Donovan Mitchells, and he got some, some De'Aaron Foxes, base, and the red, yellow, and blue. And those will be going to our PSA sub this month because, in PSA 10, it's a $100 card, $150 card, you name it. And they came right out of pack, so I think they're going to be 10s. I had taken out let's call them tier 3 guys, like Jared Allen, like Terrence Ferguson, Jonathan Isaac, guys that even in PSA 10 don't sell enough for me to even grade, and try to get back. So those were in a stack to go to StarStock. But if tier 1 is Jason Tatum and Donovan Mitchell and, De'Aaron Fox, and tier 3 is the Jared Allen type, who's in tier 2? Tier 2 were guys like Lauri Markkanen, Markelle Fultz, Kyle Kuzma, etc. And those were in my pile that I was going to send to PSA. But because of the price you get for those, and you know what, those guys might be doing great toward the end of the season. Lauri Markkanen is a very good player, and they might sell for some money. But I would be sending them in a bulk sub and paying $15 to bulk sub them, or 45-day, whatever it may be. I'm not going to be spending much more than that. I'm probably not going to spend $30 to do a 20-day on them, because even if it comes back 10, I'm basically not reaping the benefit. But I'd probably send them in a bulk sub. And here was what my thought was. My thought was, I send it in on a bulk sub. I might not have that back during the season. Most likely won't have it back in the season. Maybe the postseason. Who knows if it's a bulk sub, if I'm getting it back, June. And I don't know if these guys are going to be in the postseason. You know what I mean? So I actually thought to myself this morning, and I had them in card savers. I mean, I had them ready to go. I said, you know what? I'm pulling out the Fultz, and I'm pulling out the Lauri Markkanen. And even though these are gradable cards and will most likely have 10, because I literally just pulled them out of packs, they're hopefully going to get StarStock A's. And I put them in my submission to StarStock because I'm going to be able to sell them. And this is kind of what we talked about, right? We talked about, somebody asked a question on our episode of, how come you can see some StarStock A selling for more than Raw on eBay? Well, if you have a fan of Markelle Fultz and somebody who thinks he's going to be great this year and next year, and somebody wants to grade that card as a PSA 10, well, I'm going to send it in, and it's going to sell now for slightly more than a Raw card on eBay, because it's going to get a StarStock A. And someone's going to buy it at a huge discount to a PSA 10. But when they get it in, if they're willing to spend the time and grade it themselves, or send it back to me and I'll grade it for them, and they don't care about getting that card sold. I'm not a Markelle Fultz fan. I'm not a Lauri Markkanen fan. So I'll take the smaller markup on StarStock for a Raw card that I know is going to StarStock A, rather than wait the 6 or 8 months for a PSA 10, whereas somebody will buy it off StarStock, pay a little bit of a premium to eBay's price, and probably get themselves a 10. So I switched it up, and that was, in 3 mega boxes with 2 of those cards per pack. That was a significant amount of those mid-tier guys. You talk Alonzo Ball, there were a lot of them in that year that fall into that category. And I wound up adding, another 30 to 40 cards into my StarStock sub that were going to go to PSA previously. So yeah,
guys, let's recap real quick. When we first started the show, and you'll see why this is important, we brought you guys different plays, but we brought you a lot of graded plays and cards to buy raw and grade. Then right around September, we did a flight to quality where we talked about, buying some safer assets, RPAs, vintage cards, etc. Right? Then in the off season, we brought you again PSA 10, Prism, Michael Porter Jr. plays, etc. Why are we talking, the last 3-4 episodes about StarStock and different ways of making money? Well, there's a huge backlog in PSA. Backlog in PSA. And I think what makes a successful investor, and I've learned this from Cage, the guy's been doing this for 25 years. You can't get stuck in your ways. You can't have one way of making money. You have to adapt. You have to iterate. You have to look for new opportunities. Well, with the backlog in PSA, everyone's sending their cards there. Bulk subs might not come back for 6 to 9 months. Do you really want to wait 6 to 9 months to get a Lauri Markkanen card back that might come back a PSA 9? Is it even worth it? Where here you could load up your StarStock account, have funds, and start trading and start making moves somewhere else while learning an early stage platform. Is that fair to say, Cage? Is that a good 100% timeline?
So the synopsis of it is this. And I've only been on StarStock now for a few weeks, but I've made like 450 transactions in a few weeks. I absolutely love it. But prior to this strategic partnership that we have here with StarStock, I had 2 options. I was either going to grade a card, or I was going to sell the raw card on eBay and get what I got for it.
Yep.
This now provides a third option. It provides an option, and it is a timely option, because a lot of the cards that I would have last year sent to PSA, I have Lauri Markkanen in red, yellow, and blue in Ian's collection in PSA 10, because it's not the first time we've opened those boxes. I think they're good value at the price. So I have sent them in and graded them, and it took 4 or 5 months at value bulk pricing, $9 at the time. So it was worth it. To me, to someone who is a fan of those guys, it will be worth paying on StarStock to get this and waiting until next season or maybe the Magic and the Bulls are even better. Who knows what team marketing is going to be on, because he didn't sign his contract, right? But someone who's a fan of those guys will buy them and probably get themselves a 10, and they won't get it this season though. It's adapting the way we deal with these cards. I like to open cards raw. I like to open boxes, but then you have that raw card, and if it's not a card you're planning on keeping in your collection, right, what this provides is just another vehicle for you to continue to consolidate your collection, get some money back, and move it into something else that you actually do want. Maybe even more raw. Maybe even more, boxes that I could break. Who knows?
Do you want me to read a quote? I thought of a quote, and I have to read it. You know Darwin's
Please.
quote?
I don't know any quotes unless it came from a movie. You see this? You see what their shirt is? You don't even know what this is from. Do you know what this is?
Catalina Weinmeister. I'll say Step Brothers is a slightly overrated Will Ferrell movie, where Old School is a slightly underrated. I don't even know if you'd call that a Will Ferrell movie, but I'd say Old School needs to get more love.
I love Old School, but I hate Owen Wilson. So that's why. That's why. Yeah.
Why would you hate him?
He has the most punchable face in the business. Like if I saw him in the street, actually, I can't say if I saw him in the street, I'd punch him. I did see him in the street. He was filming a movie in New York. I was walking from my office to Penn Station, and he was on this weird scooter. They had all these it was this past summer actually. They had all these weird like the trailers that they have for the stars. They line them up on the street, and he was clearly taking a break from filming. And he had an electric scooter, and he had a mask on, and he was zooming around. And I saw him. Literally, I was 50-50 on should I clothesline this douche, or should I just say, "Hey, what's up, man?" So I said, "Hey, what's up, man?" And he said hello.
He's a great actor. How good is he in Wedding Crashers now?
Wedding Crashers is all Vince Vaughn. He's but
that's the same thing as someone comes onto the show and says, "This show's all Cage." Well, yeah, you got the bigger personality, but what is Vince Vaughn without Owen Wilson? What is Cage without Goldberg?
Well, he would just do another movie with Jon Favreau.
All right, well, Jon Favreau got really, really big.
Yeah, he did, because he ate a lot, but that's not what you meant. But yes, listen, there's room in the world for Owen Wilsons, man. And if you want to say you're the Owen Wilson of this group, I don't think anyone out there would disagree.
I think he's amazing. I think he's great. I think he's good at what he does. And I met Reese Witherspoon when they were filming How Do You Know, the softball movie in Philly. They filmed that on the Drexel soccer fields, or the Drexel complex. But the quote from Darwin, and I love this quote, guys, because I know people out there are like, StarStock's stupid. I'm just going to do things the old traditional way. I'm not about this. But you got to understand, there's people at LCSs still sitting there saying PSA grading is stupid.
Yep.
And you're going to miss out if you keep thinking like that. Darwin's quote, it's not the most intellectual of the species that survives. It's not the strongest. But the species that survives is the one that is able best to adapt and adjust to the changing environment in which it finds itself. And that's how you got to think as a sports card investor. Your environment is going to be constantly changing. PSA is going to change their prices. They're going to change the turnaround times. The market's going to change. They're going to value PSA 9s more. Then they're going to move to BGS. Then SGC slabs are going to get valued more. Modern and shifts to vintage. There's always changes. And I think the people that are most able to adapt are the ones that are going to win. My play today. Okay.
Adapt or die, right? Isn't that like a t-shirt? Adapt or die.
Adapt or die, man. Adapt or die. So, if you go to StarStock, you're going to see Ronald Acuna has 7 different rookie cards, okay? 7 different rookie cards listed. That means that people have sent in these cards. There's 94 in the vault, 31 for sale. Then we go search Tatis, and I'm searching Acuna Topps Chrome. Then we go Tatis Topps Chrome. There are 58 cards in the vault. Then we go Soto Topps Chrome. And I'll tell you, my play, there's 56 cards in the vault. Why I'm saying that is, guys, the supply in StarStock for baseball cards is a fraction of what it is for basketball cards. But I believe that's going to change in the next few weeks, next few months. I think people are going to send those cards in. And here's my play. What I would pick, my play is Soto or Acuna, but you could apply this to Tatis too. I think they're like the 3-headed monster. And I'll let you guys on the other end decide who's your horse, or you could choose all 3. but I would buy 2019, or in Soto's case, 2018, Topps Chrome of one of these three guys, or all three of those three guys. And I would also buy 2020 Topps Chrome of these guys, okay?
Okay.
You're going, let's say you have a budget of $500. You're going to be able to get a ton of 2020 because they're not the rookie year. And you're going to be able to get quite a few Tatis, Soto, Acuna, Topps Chrome cards for that budget raw. I would get them all in. I would consolidate them. And I would review those cards. And I would decide which of those cards should go to PSA and which of those cards you should send to StarStock. I'll venture to say that if you sent most of those cards to StarStock, and I want to talk to you about something right after this, but if you send most of those cards to StarStock, I think they're going to get what's it called, the StarStock A grade. It's because the Chrome is just it. KK Sports already said it quite a few times. It's just a great condition card, and you're going to be able to trade that card, I think, in the next few months at a premium to what you buy it on eBay. If you look at that card and you're like, this is a really good condition, I want to send it to PSA, you also have that option. And now, I believe StarStock only takes a look at rookie cards, right? It only uploads a rookie cards, Cage?
Yes.
Awesome. So those 2020 Topps Chrome cards, those are not pick through for any of these players, and they could be had for $1, $2, $3 at most. There's refractor versions of these cards out there for $8, $9. I would get those cards as well. I would put them in a bulk sub, and I wouldn't worry about when you get those back because I think you're going to gem really high percentage on this year's Topps Chrome for Acuna and Soto and Tatis. And I think you're going to be able to sell that card for $100 at a PSA 10 holder. I know it's not his rookie card, but the way this market is, I think you're able to churn out $100 on a PSA 10 Tatis refractor. Cage, tell me if you think I'm wrong.
I'd like to say you're nuts, but you're not. And here's the perfect example, right? And look, I'd love to get people's feedback on this because I'm sure it would be 50-50, but I'm a believer in the hobby and I'm a believer in the markets. And I do believe that when basketball runs its course this season, that there will be basketball money flowing into baseball. I think we've already seen it. We've already seen the traditional hobbyists are moving their money back into baseball now with you see the increase in prices. But I think what's going to happen is the people who have seen now that the hobby is seasonal and you swing money for money. People were in football who weren't in football previously. You know, you got the Mahomes collectors in there who were bought into this year's quarterback class, and they've now swung their money into basketball. I think you're going to see a swing into baseball, and I'm going to compare it to Prism, right? I was shocked earlier this year when LeBron's Prism Silver became a huge, huge hit. And I was likewise shocked. And guys, if you haven't looked at this, look it up. Look at what Luca and Trey's second-year Prisms, especially in their silvers or their parallels, sell for in PSA 10. It's absurd. I remember pulling a Luca Prism second-year silver out of a pack when I was opening blasters when the product first came out and selling it for $20. It was probably in great. It was centered, great shape. I think I sold it to someone in a group and not even thinking of anything about it because it wasn't a rookie. But what a mistake that was. And I think what you're going to see is that same type of play, right? Where you're going to have people at all price points looking for those stars. And in baseball, those stars are the people you're talking about. It's the Tatis. It's the Acuna. It's the Soto. And someone like Tatis, whose Chrome card this year you could still get pretty inexpensively. I have a feeling you're right that the refractor on that Topps Chrome is gonna run and do something similar to, like what Luca and Trey's parallel did, especially when you see that Chrome Tatis already pushing $300 in PSA 10 for the rookie.
Soto Topps Chrome PSA 10 sold for $360 today.
Yeah, so and you're talking about a third year now for Soto on Chrome because he came out the year before. But the Tatis for this particular year Chrome, I mean it's $300 on opening day. That's a $400 card, and he performs. Then sure, the second year Chrome could be a $100 card in a refractor easily.
And you're getting this card for pennies. The base of this card you get for $1 or $2. I bought 3 refractors today of the Tatis, and that's his first vertical card too, for $10 a piece. So let's say all in you're $25 a card. I'd be surprised if you couldn't get $90 to $100 for it.
Yeah.
And I think your gem rate is also very high on these cards. So That's how I would play it. It's kind of a multifaceted play, right? How I would do it is I would do an eBay alert for each of these guys. Tatis tops Chrome Refractor, Soto tops Chrome Refractor, Cunha tops Chrome Refractor, maybe a few different parallels. And I would also get some of their rookie cards too. I think there's nothing wrong with getting some of their ungraded rookie cards and sending those to StarStock. There's, like I said, there's no supply of these guys on StarStock, and this is Trey Luca. You could compare Soto, Acuna, and Tatis to Tatum, Trey, and Luca. Can you not?
Yeah. Same thing. A year older. Yep.
StarStock is going to be a much more mature platform in 4 or 5 months when season starts. People are going to be moving their money from NBA to something. There's already people who are made a lot of money on StarStock in NBA, and they're going to be wanting to buy one of these 3 guys. And you're going to have the supply. You're going to own 10, 15, 20% of the cards on there based on today's quantity. I think this quantity is going to change. I don't think they're always going to have 56 cards in the vault for Soto Topps Chrome. And I think you could get ahead of it while everyone's looking at NBA.
I like it. I definitely like
right?
it. Well, it's
Strategy
funny
play.
because I was in going through the cards that we had, that I had in my, to go to my StarStock today. I actually was going through, a couple boxes of cards, and I found a refractor Tatis from Chrome from 2020, the second one, and so that means it was a card that it was almost kind of like a throwaway type of card. You know what I mean? It wasn't the card that I was, I was pulling out. It wasn't even in like a penny sleeve. So yeah, I mean, you're definitely, if they pop up on eBay, you're gonna be able to get those probably pretty inexpensively. I like it. I like it. Okay, so let me give a play for right now. I've noticed in I'm going to go right back to StarStock. I was going to go one of 2 ways, but I'm going to go right back to it because I think this is just something that's pretty important. I've noticed that StarStock's become almost like a daily fantasy play for guys. So, I've noticed that the day someone is playing a game, their cards start to move, or there's more interest, there's more, there's more activity, more offers on guys' cards. So, like, I own some Kobe White cards. And a tip within a tip, sometimes when a guy goes down, and we talked about Kobe White yesterday in our StarStock episode, the better quality card starts to go back up, and the B doesn't follow immediately. And so the B card, let's just use Kobe White's Prism for an example, right? This isn't my play, but I'll just use it as an example. The A card was $80, $90, and it went down to like 67. And the B card was 25 to 30 and went down to 20. Well, the A is now back up with the cheapest one selling for 80, and it's selling in the 70s with offer in the 70s. And the B is still around 21. So the B, to me, that looks like the B should be a 25, 26. And if he has a good game today, he's playing today, I've noticed that people are starting to make offers on the cards that are in my particular collection on StarStock because he's playing today. So what I like to do is look for people who are playing tomorrow, because the offers will come tomorrow, but they don't have a game today. And if you can do one better, do one better. Do you know who the Cavs' first pick was this year? I think it's out of Auburn. His pick number 5.
Out of
so
Auburn?
His name was Isaac Okoro. Okay, so he's a wing player, good shooter, but doesn't completely fill the stat sheet. But plays good defense. So the Cavs, he was there for the first 2 games for the Cavs, and they won both of them. And he's been out the last couple of games on COVID protocol, and they haven't looked as good. They've lost a couple of games. And their coach came out and said they really missed this guy. And Garland was actually out yesterday too, so that kind of hurts as well. But Cleveland doesn't play today; they play tomorrow, right? And Okoro was cleared from the COVID protocol on Monday, right before the Orlando game, but they didn't get him in the lineup. And my bet is he'll probably be in the lineup tomorrow. And if he's not, he'll eventually be back in the lineup. And if you read about him, he's basically one of these intangibles guys, right? Who can fill the stat sheet. I think he had 11 points in limited minutes the last time he played. against a really good defense. But he's a guy who can go out there and score 10, 15, 20 points if they give him enough an opportunity to. And literally, it will be out of nowhere. Because while Wiseman's cards are selling for $20 and LaMelo's cards are selling for $50 or $70, no one's buying this guy's cards because he hasn't been playing and he's on the COVID protocol. And people jump into StarStock last week, and this guy hasn't played in 2021, but he will. And whether it's tomorrow or it's Thursday or it's Friday or whenever his next team's going to be, you're ahead of the curve. And what's going to happen is, let's say he is in tomorrow's lineup, and the people who start to play fantasy and look on those roto lineup websites and say, okay, look at this. Okoro's playing. He's going to be in the starting lineup because he starts for them. Right in the starting lineup. Well, his card shouldn't be $5 or $6 then. And you're going to see people start to make offers for his Prism card. I'll do you even one better. Right now, and I'm not going to go buy these because I want to give you guys a chance. Right now, you can pick up his StarStock B for less than $1. I think there's one available for 84 cents as I'm looking at it right now. So that's not going to stay there. Once he's inserted into the starting lineup, that 84-cent card will be gone. And anything under $1.50 or $2 will most likely be gone. So, he is a highly regarded lottery pick who was pick number 5. They're starting him. He's not like a pick 5 project. So he's going to get time. He's going to put up stats. He's going to have some numbers. And, you get the benefit of not only doesn't have a game today while people are looking, but in addition to not having a game today, he's been out and not out because of a calf injury like Obi Toppin or anything like that. He's been out because of a COVID protocol. So James already comes back, they plug him back into the lineup, and you're able to grab somebody who, for whatever reason, people have not had their attention on for the last couple of days, and you're able to buy him cheap. Isaac Okoro.
I love it. Cage with these Cage. Someone asked this: what draft picks card do you buy? And you said the lower number one. Is there any logic behind it?
So on this one, on like Okoro, I would buy whichever one's cheaper.
Okay.
So like if like I think it's card number 4 and 44 or whatever ones it is. I mean, I can take a look at them really quick if you want. If one of them happens to be selling for $7 and the other one's 4 and change, I buy the 4 and change one. I buy them up. Like basically what I've noticed on the top guys is that they, the lower number usually sells for a slight premium, but it's not huge. So on a play like this, it doesn't really matter to me which one it is. There's no reason. It's not like one of them's a debut. I have seen like the Wiseman number 2 sell for more, but a couple days ago I looked at and the other one was higher. Wiseman's higher number one was higher. Same thing with LaMelo. So,
Luka Nation.
Go ahead.
So here's what we want to have an open dialogue about, and then we want to ask you guys what you think. So Cage and I were talking to Jordan, but we were talking about this yesterday as well. There's been a run-up in baseball. We're starting to see a run-up in baseball, right? And traditionally, Topps paper is what people have looked at, right? The Topps update, the Topps Series 2, the paper cards, and the PSA 10. Cage has brought this to you guys quite a bit. He said it's a harder card to grade, so to me, it's more valuable. But
let's do an episode on it. Let's do a whole episode on it. I think it's a great idea. I'll come in. You do it tomorrow. And I'll do an episode of, we'll come in or the next day, whatever, where I bring in the actual pops. The difference in pops of paper and chrome. I'll do a little research on it and the whole deal. I'll give you my personal thoughts on it and why. And I think it's a great idea. But I think where you go with it, I'll let you get back to it. Is we want to hear what the audience has to say. We want to hear what Luka Nation has to say.
Okay, let's leave it like this and let's come back and do an episode. Luka Nation, Topps chrome, Topps paper. What do you guys for baseball? What do you guys prefer more? Send us a DM and let us know. We'll do an episode as well. Love you guys. Any final words from the king?
I assume you mean me. I'm more of the jester, but it's fun stuff. No, I mean, final words. Listen, great feedback from yesterday's episode. We really do appreciate so many people are signing up. If you have not heard yet, if you didn't listen to yesterday's episode and you're listening out of order and you're on this one and you haven't seen our post, which hopefully is up by the time you're listening to this, we have a giveaway going on right now, right? For folks who sign up using our code on StarStock, Luka Nation. I'm giving away from my own personal collection, a little Juan Soto PSA 10 Heritage rookie. It's a nice card. We'll get a little picture of it. It's a nice card. And we're going to give away a card We're gonna try to give away every week for people who are signing up on this. I got a same card of Acuna. We'll do next week, but the rules of how to sign up will be on our page. As long as you take a little snapshot while you're signing up with that code, you'll be able to send that to us and post it and enter.
We got a busy week, Cage. We got a busy week ahead. Now we have a baseball Topps Chrome versus Topps Paper episode scheduled. We have a really exciting guest episode coming up, maybe 2 guest episodes this week. It's the NFL playoffs starting, and we have to do a preview for that before Saturday as well. So we got a lot going on this week.
Oh, yeah. We'll have a preview NFL episode. And listen, guys, we come up with these things here. The guests, the paper versus Chrome. That'll be a fun one. Any ideas? Anything you want to hear us talk about, just let us know. We're
no way the NFL lets Tom Brady lose to the Washington football team, do they?
I think it's a nice story, right? The hated Brady loses to Alex Smith. Who do you think Disney might be bribing the refs for his for the Alex Smith after school story? You never know. The after school special. You
never know. All right, Luca Nation. Love you guys.
Take care, everybody. Thank you for spending some time with us on another episode of the Lucas, Tigers, and Bronze Oh My podcast. Do us a favor and like, subscribe. You know what? Don't just like and subscribe. Everybody does that. If you like us, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your enemies, tell everybody. And we hope you got something from spending some time with us today, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.